Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Atom. Before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin. Always recommend you look at Bitcoin, understand what's going on, but we're going to overlook that here today in the sense that I'm just going to cover it in a separate video altogether. I took a deep dive into it yesterday, help you understand what's going on, check that out in your own time. I'll look at it again later today, just waiting for the one-day candlestick to close, kind of see where we're at, right? Now, before we jump into Atom, I want you to know I love teaching people how to trade, and this is something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I can't tell you enough about how much it brings me great joy to teach others to become better, more self-sufficient traders. So thanks again to my community members, of course, all those who believe in me, 400 strong already. And obviously, if you're not currently a member, consider joining. I send out signals for every trade that I take, and I also am rolling out with a Trading Academy month end. Going to be awesome. Website, the whole 9 yards. I'm going the extra mile for you guys because I deeply appreciate your support. That being said, let's go and take a look at Atom, see what's going on here. And this is one of my top 5 picks. If you haven't seen that video yet, feel free to check that out. But I think for this quarter, we're going to see Atom do some really cool stuff. Once we break the resistance level, which was tested recently at $44 and roughly 25 cents, you could round up and say, 45 is just a relative rough number or estimate if you round up. But 44, 45 basically is the resistance. So we want to go ahead and adjust that and move this guy back up here because you can see it tested that resistance as well. And we'll just go ahead and start with some standard stuff. So first of all, here with Atom, we've got both moving averages being very well. In other words, when they're being well, they are below the price action, right? They're considered to be potential support levels if the price were to come back down. Do I foresee the price coming down? No, I really don't. That's why it's one of my top 5 picks, and I can estimate that we're going to see an all-time high soon. And ultimately, some really cool stuff from Atom. But right now, on the one-day chart, we're still well above 50. Not a lot of coins actually have this type of pattern where, we didn't even come down and bounce off of 50 recently. We're still trending closer to 70, and I'd love to see when we break the all-time high, stay above 70 for a while. It's going to be, and I like to give this an example, it's going to be the next Solana, right? So if you remember Solana, it passed its all-time high in like the $60, $70 range and went just almost straight upwards, or progressively upwards rather, not even straight. Had healthy higher highs and higher lows and continued upwards of almost 200, right? So really cool stuff. I do think Atom's going to be like that as well. And if we do the same math, I would say 100 plus is very likely. Now we'll look at lines here and kind of see what the potential is for Atom, but that's just, again, just a kind of shooting from the hip. I think that Atom will do very well. I think 2x is a very likelihood, if that makes any sense. Anyways, if you know my channel too, if you watch any of my videos, I don't hype things up either. So keep this in mind. The likelihood of that happening, I think, is fairly high, just based on the fact that it's very independent of Bitcoin. Because if you look at Bitcoin's behavior since November, 6th or so, the price has been digressing completely, right? Now, Atom was overextended, tested its major, its all-time high essentially twice, and ever since October 26th, it's been progressing down. But in mid-December, it turned right around when a lot of other coins were doing poorly, okay? And the thing is, December was all well and good because it had higher highs and higher lows for Bitcoin. A lot of coins did very well take off, but most of them got corrected again the second sell-off from Bitcoin here recently. That tested, 40,500 or lower. Atom isn't responding to that very, very, very negatively, right? The strong support here at about 35 held very well. So ultimately, we're looking good here for Atom. I guess that's what I'm trying to get across. It has very healthy patterns, unlike most other coins, and I like where it's at. We're back up over the 50 on the 4-hour charts, as well as a 200-day SMA, and those are both awesome scenarios. Good qualities there. Also not overextended on the 4-hour too, so we have room for growth here, which basically just means that we could essentially push towards all-time high and break that soon. I think it's a strong likelihood. Now, right now at this point, it's a little too premature just based on the fact that Bitcoin is, I would say, still on a razor's edge, even though it's doing well today and yesterday. We still have, I wouldn't say the news, because the news has kind of already come to fruition, but there's a lot going on the back end there, and I think that we could very well still see another retest of the support around 40,500. That's just my speculation, my guess. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin per se, but I think on a macro, it's got potential, but micro, I think we're in a false positive scenario where we're getting some nice little light at the end of the tunnel, which is fantastic, but it's still not done making moves, and Bitcoin is going to surprise us, I think, this week more adversely than positive. I'm just being, I guess the charts are telling us that. That's all I'm saying. It's just kind of, I'm not convinced yet. Until we're up over 46,000 for Bitcoin, I'm not convinced. Anyways, this is regarding Atom, not Bitcoin, but you need to know that if Bitcoin does sell off to 40,500, we could see a test of support level around 39 and or 35. So just be mindful of that. Don't be surprised if the price comes down and test both. But keep this in mind too. If we lose 39, we've got the nice 50-day SMA working right behind the price action. So there's a great chance that this is going to be a strong support level right here in this range. Okay. So all good stuff there. That's kind of what we're looking at here for Atom on the 4-hour. Taking a look at the 1-hour chart, just quickly identify Ichimoku cloud. We're getting close to a potential close. In other words, the cloud is a very conservative indicator, right? If you've seen my videos, you know that I have a separate video altogether regarding this, and my Trading Academy, I'm going to have even deeper dive into it. But the bottom line is that conversion lines over the baseline. The lagging span is free and clear of any price action. We're above the cloud, but we've been above the cloud for some time. TD Sequential is telling us that we had a 9 recently. We got a state of consolidation, so that could push the price sideways from here, essentially allowing the lagging span to intersect with the price action. Not by any means am I telling you to sell your position, but this could give us a sell signal soon, right? Doesn't mean you got to close at all. Doesn't mean you got to do much at all. It could just imply that you might want to trim your position a little bit because it's coming up to a major resistance level, right? It's previous all-time high. Oftentimes prices can reject out at that time. But if we look at the big picture here and we kind of understand, and this is an exaggeration, but we do have a potential cup and handle pattern. A lot of coins are kind of forming this. We have that. And of course, the little handle here. I know that's a poor illustration, but you can kind of get the idea. Oftentimes when that happens, I think Rose just did this as well, and I mentioned that in my previous video before it broke out, that it will likely break out, come up and test its support level, and then break out again. That's essentially what just happened with Rose, and the same thing is going to happen with Atom too. So if we do break this resistance at 44.68 specifically, there is a strong likelihood the price will pass that point, come back down, consolidate at its previous resistance, reaffirming a new support, and as long as there is no bear trap, then we'll effectively be able to push up higher. And actually, correction, I think it's more of a bull trap because the price would come down even lower if that was the case. But with cup and handle patterns, it's rare to see that happen, right? Again, the wild card we have here is Bitcoin misbehaving. If Atom comes up and breaks that all-time high and Bitcoin drops 6 to 10% in one trading day, then yes, Atom's going to correct itself and we won't hold that support. Okay. So again, that's why you just got to be mindful of Bitcoin and see what's going on. Watch my other Bitcoin video from yesterday if you want to get perspective better on what's going on, or here in a few hours when I roll out with a new one, you can look at that too. But generally speaking, Bitcoin is just, I don't know, it's kind of being a bug right now and I don't love it, but I love the fact that coins like Atom, Link, Phantom, there's a good handful of coins. I would say that 5 or 10 of them right now that are outperforming a lot of other coins, specifically Bitcoin. Okay. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Let's go right back to the 1 hour and kind of just wrap it up here. I think we've already identified that we have a potential sell signal soon if the price just keeps going sideways. But the thing I want you to walk away from here is that we're making nice higher highs and higher lows. And we are ultimately looking at a really good shape here for Atom in the big picture. So I don't see anything adverse here from Atom. There's no reason why it should slow down at all. We're not overextended on any time frame. Let me just double check. We're at a 2 here on this. We are at an 8 on the 4 hour. So keep in mind, we might actually see a slight correction here soon in that regard in the midterm. Okay, wouldn't be terrible though, because it would give us a nice solid foundation close to the support at 39. In fact, I'd prefer it to come down to 39 before it legs up to its all-time high to give it that extra, that extra momentum that it needs. So it's not overextended going into a major resistance. Okay. Again, you don't always get what you want. It's just trading for you, right? You're never going to be super happy. But the key is to celebrate the wins and to obviously take little breaks here and there if you are over trading. Okay, it's really important. I teach that in my Trading Academy too, and it's just one of those things where you need to understand that good risk management is all about understanding if you're in the right state of mind to trade. Okay. Again, we can cover that later. You'll take a look at that at your own time if you want, but Atom shows pretty much no signs of slowing down here. If it does slow down, I would say 39 should be the bottom for the immediate future. And it wouldn't be a terrible thing if we saw that, right? It would just give us a better opportunity to be able to add to our position at a lower price point. I do recommend dollar cost averaging right now in general and setting some money aside for Tether. I know it sounds crazy. Some people, I'm sure there's people that are brand new to trading and be like, that's stupid. You're not going to maximize your gains if you do that. What's going to happen if it goes parabolic and you miss out? Yeah, there's going to be other trades that you could take if you miss out, right? That's just the way it goes with trading. But if you set money aside and you have that money available when you need it later, a good advanced trader, or at least an intermediate trader that knows a thing or two, will always have money set aside and ensure that they are ready for the next dip, because dips will consistently happen. Parabolic increases are nonsense. You want to see nice, healthy highs and healthy lows. when you see those higher highs and those higher lows, so to speak, that's when you buy the dip, right? You buy the dip on the next one when it's increasing. You're on the right side of the tracks and the price is going in the direction you want to head. You don't try to just buy the dip every time it comes down. You can dollar cost average, sure, but you don't dollar cost average your entire portfolio. That's a terrible, terrible mistake a lot of people make. So again, just trying to get you some friendly advice there. Be safe. Dollar cost average a little bit, not a problem at all. The likelihood of Atom going up versus down right now is very high, but it could come down again, correct itself around 39 and or 35 if Bitcoin drops its bottom. Just be aware of that. Otherwise, I think we got blue skies and no clouds on the horizon for Atom if you want to get a meteorologist approach, because a lot of people like the moon and stars analogy. I'd much rather keep it in the stratosphere and talk real with you. There's no clouds. We're good to go. Nice sunny. No rain on the horizon here for Atom. I think we're looking good. All right, I hope you understood what I mean by that. Thank you so much for letting me, talk your ear off here today, and of course, ramble a little bit. If you find benefit, great, comment below. If you don't, that's okay too. Consider joining my community so we can all learn and grow together. I look forward to working with you, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.